everybody. It's Kika, your lifestyle blogger, and we are starting my floors. We're going to change the color to these wood floors that have been in this house since 1942. Yes.
Okay guys, we started with the more natural looking floor, but we are going to change the floor color to ebony. Yes. So the more darker looking floor, a little bit shinier, that's what I'm doing here. And it turned out really nice. I'm probably going to have to add another coat, but I really like the way that it looks. I like the glossy texture to the floor. So this one is definitely a keeper.
Hey guys, so let's talk a little bit about the floor staining technique and then why I'm even doing it in the first place. So, I live in an older home, a 1942 home, and I know I've said this several times before, but I just want to reiterate that because that's important for you to know. So, the floors in the home are the original hardwood floors. But what I'm noticing is whoever the previous homeowner was, as they were replacing the floors that went bad or whatever, they didn't quite replace it with the same type of floor. So we have some floor laying this way and some this way, and it's all together, kind of pieced together. It still looks nice and very beautiful the way they refinished them before, but now we are in an era, being 2024, where things just are a little bit different. And for me, it's easier for me to maintain a darker looking floor. For me, it has a richer look and it has a more finished look. So that is what I'm going for with this design. Now, I know you can see the door behind me. That's actually my bathroom door. I'm actually sitting in my bedroom right now. And so I don't like that orangish color that people use for cabinets and trim and all of that. So after I finish painting I shouldn't say paint, staining, after I finish staining the wood floors, I'm going to go ahead and tackle the trim, and I'm going to do that white, and I'm going to paint the doors as well. Now, some of you may say, well, why didn't you just start with the doors and trim first? Well, I'm a little bit different when it comes to doors and trims and things like that. I really want to take my time and do a really good job. So I use a small paintbrush and I just do it little by little. So this project of the trims and the doors is probably going to take me the entire month to finish. So I wanted to get the floors tackled just because that's a bigger project. And we walk on the floors all the time. We're always walking around in and out of the house. So I really wanted just to get that part complete and done, and then I can slowly take my time doing the doors and the trim. Now, there are two doors in the house that I do plan to replace, and that's my very front door and my very back door where we go out to the porch where the dogs are. That's their room, that's their area leading out into the backyard. So I do want to replace that. That door I want to be a Dutch door so I don't have to use baby gates in my doorways. I'll do a Dutch door and I can shut the bottom half and leave the top open so the dogs can see through. Or when it's okay for them to come in and out, I'll just open it all the way. So that's my plan for that space. The front door, not really sure yet. I want something really nice, but I still am going to keep my blue paint color because I absolutely love that and it fits really nicely with the design that I am creating. Now, you guys know that I have been working on this interior design project for the last year. We started out with the cabins and we have a lot of videos on that, and now we reverted to my forever home. And so it's going to take some time to get it absolutely perfect, but what I do like is what I'm creating is a maintenance-free home here that has the designer look, I should say. And I really like that. So a couple of things along the way that I decided to do to change, because I know you see my dining room so many times I have recreated and updated. The only thing that I decided to do, I do like what I've done to my dining room, but I'm going to take that area rug all the way out because with these floors being black, I want it to be seamless and perfect. And then my robot mop and sweeper will be able to go underneath the dining room table and clean all that up with no problem and no difficulties. So I'm going to move that area rug out to the back porch where my dogs are and make that just a little bit of a nicer space for them. Now, I did order quite a few things from Amazon as it relates to my Alexa and all the things that I am doing with my AI and changing this turn of the century house into a smart house. So we will be talking about what I purchased on the next video. But for now, let's get into these floors and what I'm doing to stain the floors. So keep watching, more video footage coming right up.
Okay, guys, so let's start with the floors in my house. As you can see, they're like an oak floor in the living room. And I started out with some stain sample. This is the ebony stain sample, testing it on the floor in my living room. And I really like this look. It's pretty close to the color black, but not quite black. So I am feeling like this is going to work very well. So I went ahead and I moved all the furniture out of the dining room and into my living room. So as you can see here, my living room is piled with the dining room furniture and just kind of everything that I had in that space. And then I went ahead and just started sweeping and doing some sanding and just making sure it's right. And then I tested the floors in certain areas too, just to make sure all of this is going to work well. Now, I wanted to start with this area first because my dogs are on the back porch. And so there's a lot of high traffic coming in and out of this particular area. So I wanted to start with this area first. So basically the supplies that I use, let's talk about that for a minute. I did get the wood stain, and actually they come in quart sizes, so that works perfectly. When I started out, I had a small sample size, but then I went with the quart size. So this is working really, really nice. And then I went ahead and just put this down on the floor, and I'm really liking that. Now, there's two different kinds, so make sure you look at this very closely. This is the one that you are going to want to purchase. This is actually the sample size that I'm holding right now, and then they do have a quart size that's a little bit bigger that you're going to want to use. So I will show you that.
This is the actual other side they had. And the weird thing is, they only had 2 left on the counter, which tells me this is a popular color that everyone is doing. And I'm recommending it, especially if you have lighter walls. It's just nice to have darker floors. So anyway, we're going to try it out. See how it goes.
Okay, so here you see me staining the floor, and this is over by where my trash can was. So this is actually just a sample that I'm doing just to see what it's going to actually look like before I get to the stain. But look at the stain here. So this is the sample size, and this is the actual size that you'll get. So I actually got 2 of these. Okay, so behind me, you can see where I did the stain and how drastically different it looks from where the floor is actually looking right now. So I'm really liking this rich look for the floors. Now here's some inspirational pictures that's going to give you an idea of what I'm kind of going for. As you can see how the contrast is between the black and the white color, this is going to be gorgeous, you guys. And here we are with the stain process. It's looking good and it's coming along pretty nicely, but I do want these floors darker, and we perfected it. So here we are. What I'm noticing though is I'm having a few smudges that's happening along the way. So I'm going to have to put a couple of coats the desired look.
Change clothes because I've been working on staining my floor. So I finally got the rest of the dining room done and into the kitchen. So I'm going to show you some pictures and video of that. But what is this looking like? I am actually loving it, but I really think that what I'm going to have to do is go get a clear sealant just to make sure everything is sealed and perfect, because I don't want to move furniture over these floors and get it scuffed in different areas and then have to go back and repeat the process. That would be just too much. But since I'm halfway done and all we need to do next is the living room, I'm going to go ahead and just let this floor dry the way it is right now. And then I'm going to go back in with some sealant. So probably later on today, I'm going to head out to Home Depot and get the clear sealant that I need for these floors to harden them up and keep them looking this vibrant color, because it's really needed. Now, there is some sections like in the middle area that I need to go back over and finish because it's scuffed up a little bit. I am using some Dollar Tree like mop heads, and I'm using that to stain it, and then I am getting rid of the mop heads when I'm done. And then I use a floor sander where I got on my hands and knees and actually sanded, I want to be very careful not to use any big machines on this floor because it's very delicate. These are the original 1942 floors, so I don't want to do too much sanding because it already looks like it has been sanded. You can tell it's been sanded a lot. Excuse me. So I just want to be very careful of that. But I hope you like the transformation and what I'm doing so far. As we work our way into the living room, it's going to get really interesting because I do have some holes in chipped wood that I need to repair. And I say I repair, we can't replace because these floors are, like I said, from 1942. So I probably will not ever find any wood that would be comparable or be able to match these floors. So I need to repair. And these holes got in the floors from when my dogs were little puppies and they were scratching on the floor, and it created these. So I'll show you what those look like. And that is what I'm going to have to fill with wood filler. And then we can sand and prep and get ready to stain the living room and foyer area. So keep watching. More video footage coming up. Showed you the scuffs in the floors that I'm going to repair with the wood filler. But the disclaimer is, a lot of people say, well, why don't you just sand your floors? My sister was saying that earlier today, and I know I explained a little bit about why sanding these floors, being that these are the original floors, could be a little bit dangerous. It could be. She said something about getting just the easy sanders, so you can do it. To me, just being very careful not to split the wood or anything is huge. And as you can see, the holes, just from my dog's scratching, the kind of damage that it did. So I can repair this area, but I want to be extra careful. And so I just wanted to be able to share that piece of information with all of you so that you know, if you do have a home, this is an antique to me, because there's no way we will ever in this lifetime be able to replace these types of floors in a home. But I really want to make sure that this is superb. So I don't mind the scuffness of the way it looks and me putting the black over it, or the ebony, I should say, stain over it, because it's still in keeping with the era of the home, because they're not going to be the perfect floor because it's an older home and these are the original floors that I stained. So it is going to have a little bit of scuffness to it, but that's the uniqueness in the interior design that I want to go for. So when I have this all finished, I'm going to show you what it looks like, and you probably will be in agreement with me as well. So keep watching. More video footage. Normally people would be so angry with their pets for doing this, but we know that this is a common occurrence with pets. They were puppies, they were scratching, so this is what they do. Thank goodness they didn't tear up my doors, and then I would be replacing more than 2 doors here in the house. But what I did is I filled in with this putty here of wood filler. So it's these 3 spots here. And then when I'm done, I'm going to sand over top so it's nice and smooth, and you won't even be able to tell that those were there. So keep watching. Okay guys, so let me tell you what staining these floors ebony is going to do for the furniture that was in this space. So the furniture was more of a neutral white color. So by having these floors black or ebony, that furniture is really going to pop, and it's going to draw in what's needed to be drawn in to make the space perfect. So this lighting here, it's all enhanced by the flooring. Even the extra black on the pendant lights that I did is all enhanced because the flooring is now black. So now your eyes will go up and you'll see the black in the lighting, and down to see the black in the flooring. So that's how design works. Let me share with you what I got to seal and put the finishing touches on my flooring. So I went back to Home Depot and I purchased this. I did a lot of reading and looking on YouTube, and this seems to be working very well to kind of finish things off. But what you want to do is make sure, first and foremost, that your floor is completely dry. So what I mean by that is when you walk across your floors, you want to make sure you don't feel any stickiness at the bottom of your feet. And the best shoes to wear for this, to do that test, is tennis shoes. I had flip-flops on the other day when I first started this project, and I could not tell if the floors were still wet or dry or whatever, and I kept piling on applications. This way, if you have tennis shoes on, the tennis shoes, the tread of your tennis shoes, will be able to let you know if the floor is still a little bit damp and needs to continue to dry. If you have a fan or something like that that you can put in that area and just rotate it around to make sure that you get all the spots completely dry, that would be wonderful. You're going to definitely want to do that. And you definitely want to add this sealant so that way you're sealing everything so that you're not scuffing and scraping up your beautiful floors after you have them all finished. Now, I know there are different ways that people like to do their floors. Some people are perfectionists, like my sister, she is. And you can do that. You can sand and you can do that all day long if you want to. But I am here to tell you, I did go to interior design school. This is also a nice way to do it if you don't have a lot of time or a lot of money to be able to put into that type of effort. You can do it the way that I am showing you here. It's seamless. It's effortless. It does come with a little bit of sweat equity, but in the end, it'll be worth it. So keep watching. More video footage coming up.
Do you guys remember the holes in the floor that my dogs made? Well, I filled it in with wood filler, and now we're ready for stain.
Show you how nice these floors look with my rug, my existing rug. I am really pleased with how all this is turning out. It really makes my fridge pop and everything. Keep watching. More video. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video about staining my floors because I'm going to have subsequent videos for you in extension to this one where I'm going to talk about painting my door and the trim and all of that and give you just an overall look of what everything looks like. But we're going to end this video with pictures of the space. So this will be of my dining room, kitchen, and living room space. And I just want to put a little bit of a disclaimer there. It did take me, I want to say, about 4 days to completely stain the dining room, the kitchen, and the living room. Now, even though the stain says it's fast drying and it'll be dry within 1 hour, don't trust that. It's not dry. You need 24 hours for this to set and dry the way it's needed. And even after the 24 hours, you're going to have to go back and perfect some things along the way. So I just want to put that disclaimer out there and just let you know that in no way this is just a simple and easy process. This does take a lot of calculated steps of planning where you want things, how you're going to move things, and how you're going to put things back when you're done. Now, there's a couple of things that I did that's a little bit of a trick in putting things back. Use an old sheet or an old cloth and make sure you have that up underneath your furniture as you are dragging it back to its location, because you do not want to scuff or scratch your floors. And you can do that if the wrong things get nicked or snagged in a certain area. You really don't want that to happen. So make sure you put something protective underneath as you gently move things back to its place. Have someone help you carry the heavier thing and not dragging them, and make sure you get them back in its perspective place so that everything looks nice and neat when you are all finished. So what you are about to view right now is the finishing touches of my floor staining work, and you will see how I took this dining room, kitchen, and living room from, don't want to say really drab, because we did do a lot of things to fix it up and get it to this point, but right now with those floors that color, this is looking fabulous. Keep watching. More video footage coming up.
Okay guys, this is me in the living room, finishing the living room area of my home. And so the stain process was pretty easy. Now we just need to go through the drying process, which is going to take 24 hours. So you guys remember that time, 24 hours, in order for these floors to completely dry. So I'm going to go ahead and end the video here, because in the next video, you are going to see how I add color to the trim. More video footage coming right up.